Technical difficulties in the last video started lagging pretty bad, so hopefully it doesn't reflect in the actual video. But now we're gonna try out this Special Reserve, Peterson Special Reserve 2014.
Amazing.
We cracked it open and loaded our pipes already.
Well, just the smell though, I want to eat it.
Yeah, it smells very fruity.
Oh my
like,
gosh.
and it's not like that fake fruit smell. It's like
This is like a plum cake. Really.
Yeah.
Or a carrot cake almost.
Very divine. I mean,
bursting, man.
And it's really unique. It's got ribbon cut in here and flake, like parts of a flake cut. I don't know if you can see it, but there's like big chunks of flake in here. I can grab some. It's got ribbon and see a big chunk of flake, and it's all mixed in together. I'm really curious to see how this smokes. It's got a lot of promise.
Another thing about that one, Nick, and I think the last one as well, is if you give it the pinch test, it doesn't fall apart afterward. It kind of holds together. So they're medium moist, I think.
They're perfect. They're not too moist. I didn't get a lot of junk in my pipe, moisture in my pipe when I was smoking that. No gurgling or anything. So we got our pipes loaded up here.
I've used, for this one and for the last one, I've used my Balkovec pipes because Mark's pipes have such a good draw. How's that draw on that one?
Oh, phenomenal. This is my PSOI pipe.
You ready to light up?
Ready. What a Cigar Day, pleasure maneuvers, what do you say, pleasure maneuvers engaged or something like that? Oh my lord. First off, I'm picking up a lot of fruit and a lot of Virginia.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Well, the last tobacco that we had, the Christmas blend, I picked up a lot on the tip of my tongue. A little bit of bitterness in the back, I think was the burley. That's what burley does to me. This right here hits me mid-tongue. Mid-tongue to the back of the tongue, and it's very, very sweet.
That's a nice, like, so the Christmas or the holiday special, the holiday reserve, what is it, holiday something? Wish they would call it Christmas. I hope they're not trying to be politically correct. But that one was like real oily and a really deep flavor. It's hard to describe. Like a rich. There it is. It was a really oily, rich flavor. This one is a really light, fruity flavor. Real refreshing. Got nice Virginia flavor in there.
This to me would be a perfect Thanksgiving smoke. Don't you think so? Especially after some pumpkin pie or apple pie, berry pie.
It would definitely go well after like a cherry pie or. I'm trying to identify the fruit. What kind of fruit this is?
To me, I'm tasting something that's a little bit like prune or plum.
Yeah, maybe plum, prune, maybe a dash of cherry in there. Fig? Okay.
Yeah, not prune, fig.
This is the winner, man.
I tell you.
These were, they're right on the reviews on smoking pipes. They have a chart of all the the most popular Peterson blends on there, and these were one of the higher marks. I think they were about 4-star out of 5.
I'm sold.
Good call. Yeah, I would definitely buy this 10 again. Scott, this is a winner.
And you guys know about, if you've seen my videos, how picky I am about tobacco. I'm really lightweight when it comes to tongue bite and taste. Nick is much more developed in his palate than I am. I don't know.
Oh, I hate tongue bite. I hate tongue bite.
No, but you can still handle some pretty heavy duty English. So for someone with a mild palate like mine, this is wonderful.
And consistent.
Explain what you just explained to me, son. I've never heard that before, about the different ways that flavor shifts depending on the top of the bowl, mid bowl, bottom of the bowl. I've never heard that before.
Well, I just found that usually with aromatics, first light, you get a bunch of flavor, and then it kind of crescendos in the middle of the bowl, and you hit a sweet spot in there that is just it's the experience that the tobacco makers wanted you to have. It's the epitome of the tobacco. It's the top. So that's the middle. I think that the best experience is the middle. As it burns down, it almost loses its flavor, I guess. So that'd be like the afterglow in the bottom. So you got the maximum experience in the middle,
Afterglow,
crescendoed, and then the
you might as well call it
afterglow.
crescendo, climax. And then you have the afterglow.
Climaxes, and then you got your afterglow. So it mellows out toward the bottom when you right before you finish.
It reminds me about what Mike Rizzo was talking about when he was smoking that one particular tobacco, and he said he was waiting for the berries, and then all of a sudden, somewhere in the middle of the pipe, he goes, "Oh, there it is, there it comes." That must have been what he was doing.
Oh, you know what beer would go great with this?
Mad Elf.
Yes, or any kind of fruit flavored Belgian, like a high ABV, like Mad Elf or
Ignis Patuus.
or Ignis Patuus, whatever it is. And what's the barley wine? Barley wines would go really well with this as well. As well with this as well.
As well.
And also, I'm not the most well-spoken person in the world that you probably know. But
That's not true. That's not true.
Oh man, this is a great experience right here.
This is a tobacco I think would smoke well in a bent. And the reason why is when you have a straight pipe, your smoke is going up about eye level. In a bent, you probably would smell a lot more of the tobacco and get a lot more room note.
True.
And this is one you want definitely to have the room note with it.
Although when you're smoking with somebody, you get the same effect.
That's true.
When you always smell tobacco better when someone is smoking with you that same tobacco. When you're by yourself, I would definitely say do a vent on this just to get the maximum flavor.
I've often been smoking with some fellas, and their smoke wafts over to me, and I go, "Oh, what is that you're smoking?" Same thing. You're
like, no kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Scott, very good. Those are very good.
But both of them are phenomenal. I think I'll review that Howl of the Wind with Aaron Thompson, because he's a big fan of Virginias and he's a huge fan of rat trace. So I'll make another video later on and review this with him.
And if you guys have never had Snowflake before, that's another one of his top I think the top tobaccos besides Black Gold Plus, and Pete's Moss is I like the Snowflake and I like the Somerset.
Mm-hmm.
These, I've just not been a big fan of the tins that I've had. I've always liked to get my tobaccos in bulk, but this was a pleasure today, son.
Oh,
These were very good.
Absolutely. I've been really getting into tins. I love tins. Not only for their collectibleness, but if that's even a word, their collectability, but just how you can age them. That sound when you pop the tin for the first time, it really feels like, man.
How's it go again?
You get that like burst of air escaping, and when you open it up, and just that smell graces your nostrils.
There's gonna be a wonderful camping tobacco.
Oh yes. Mm-hmm. So, definitely a winner. Definitely impressed with Peterson. You redeemed yourself on aromatics.
More than that.
Of course, I've never tried your premium reserved aromatics before. This is our first time. We've only tried like Killarney and the other ones.
Well, we got
whiskey one.
we got the whole. We got a aromatic special where it was about 5 of them.
Mm-hmm. The one that was probably the best out of all those was the Connoisseur's Choice. But even that kind of bit, yeah. I like to mix a little bit with Black Gold and it tamed it down.
None of their flavors were bad. They just bit.
They just, yeah, your tongue would flare up. Mm. And what a wonderful day it is. It's nice and overcast and cloudy. Hoping it's kind of like this for Thanksgiving.
It's really, it's the weather's turned and it's much more pleasant here when the weather turns. It's going to be 67, 61. In fact, it's going to be 59, I think, on Wednesday.
Yeah, it's going to kind of warm up for Thanksgiving. Hoping we get some clouds though.
Well, we'll keep ourselves chilled.
Mm-hmm. We'll distill ourselves. I like that. Distilled.
We're a distilling individual.
We'll pickle ourselves. But yeah, we'll spend Thanksgiving. We'll probably start out, get that turkey going in the infrared cooker. Dad and I will work hard watching that turkey and lighting up pipes and having beers. And probably make a video as we're cooking that turkey. I think Jasper Ben will come early, or you show up late as always. And we'll make a video.
I'm wondering if Aaron will be here early.
Probably. We'll tell him what we'll be doing. We'll get as many of us in the video as possible. And what state we'll be in at that time, there's no telling, but sure it'll be an amicable state of mind.
And we hope that you guys have a great Thanksgiving. If you have kids and you're looking for some good stories to tell your kids for Thanksgiving, I have a holiday page. If you don't mind me giving myself a plug here, it's greentreecommunity.net. If you go on greentreecommunity.net and see my blogs, I've got about 4 blogs on there on Columbus and George Washington and the Pilgrims, Squanto and Abraham Lincoln. I think one of my favorite, Columbus, you don't hear a lot about. Man, that's a great story. But bulletproof George Washington. And how many of his enemies, later on, Indian enemies, came up and testified that they could not hit him with a bullet. They trained all their guns on him, could never hit him with a bullet. And just bulletproof. The providence of God there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, come on.
Do you have any writings on Pocahontas and like to correct the heresy Disney has made on.
Well, that's what the
things-
Squanto was about. The Pocahontas, the same thing. I don't have her on the site. I'll put her on next week.
All right.
Same thing though. It's,
If you let your kids watch the atrocity that is Pocahontas Disney movie, make sure you correct their view of
Their pagan view.
of their pagan view of them, and know the real story. I'm sure they don't get that in public school either. It's so secularized. Our heroes
or if it's secular,
paganize them.
it's almost not politically correct to feel anything good about the founding of our country, the heroes of our country, and, you know, God forbid Christianity. But when you don't have a bias about it and you read up on it, it's credible, incredible story.
Anyway, do yourself a favor, check out greentreecommunity.net. Like Dr. Peter Bertolero on Facebook, his page. So,
when you
blogs.
go on the Green Tree Community, greentreecommunity.net, you'll see a particular design that no one's ever seen before on there on a couple of my blogs, and that's a design that Nick stylized for me. And tell him a little. Can you tell him something about that design, or we run out of time?
We've run out of time. We're gonna have to make this a second video.
Who cares?
Second video, guys. You're welcome. You've been asking us for videos, so we're just gonna do a 1-2 combo punch for you. 2 videos, 1 shot here. So yeah, it's called the Incarnation Initial, and I love it. It's you'll see it in the Book of Kells. You'll see it in various other Irish manuscripts. It's the Cairo, and it's the Greek initials of Christ. It's the PX.
Is it?
It's the PX, and they stylize it to be kind of like their own signature initial for Christ. The Incarnation Initial is what they call it, and it's called that because they usually put it at the beginning of the Christmas story in the Gospels, and it's just a wonderful, beautiful symbol. I got it tattooed on my arm. I need to get it retouched, but you can kind of see it.
The one you did me was beautiful.
Got the big X here, and the big P, and got the P here. Probably can't see it in the video, but very Celtic.
Did you say it was one of the oldest symbols, Celtic symbols?
It's old. I mean, the Book of Kells was written, shortly after St. Patrick, in the Isle of Iona. So I'm not quite
About the 12th century.
By St. Columba, which is what my son's named after. It's old. I don't know if it's the oldest. The Irish, they used some of the old ancient Christian symbology as well. And they used a fish. They used the PX. They had one of those like praying hands, or the hand of God. They used in their ancient Agam script. Anyway, they kind of borrowed things and made it their own, which I love about the Irish.
Which basically is their own because they saved civilization and everything else was destroyed, so we basically began it all over again.
Very much. Ireland was like the Noah's Ark of civilization, while the rest of Europe burned by the hands of barbarians. Ireland cataloged and recorded every bit of written history that they could get their hands on, like scrolls and manuscripts from the Library of Alexandria, and just everywhere they could, they got those, and they They copied them. They scribed, scribed them and recopied them, and made as many copies as they could, and they stylized them all.
And the guys that did that were Christian monks, by the way.
So while the rest of the books burned, they had them all over in Ireland and preserved them all. Anyways, guys, looks like my video is glitching again here, so we're going to cut it off here, and just want to say that this tobacco is still wonderful, burning sweet. And thanks again, Scott, for everything.
Thanks, Scott.
Hope you guys have a wonderful Thanksgiving, and God bless. We'll catch you on Thanksgiving Day and hopefully upload a video that day.
Happy Thanksgiving, guys.
Pleasure.
How come it does that?